What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Almighty Analysis. Today we're going to be reacting to a video from Degenerosity called Childhood Video Games. I personally am a huge gamer, and when I think back to like old childhood video games, first things that pop into my head are like the Sega Genesis days, Super Nintendo, even like the original Game Boy, like the fat, chunky gray Game Boy, Pokemon Blue, and things like that. The No Mercy game, WCW, NWO Revenge, all the wrestling games, playing with those with friends. Super Smash, like the original Super Smash. All of these games, I feel like we look at them with rose-tinted glasses sometimes. Some of them are great, and they'll always be great. But there's also, I guess, some of them that are just, they didn't age well. Let's just put it like that to be nice. For instance, you could play a new first-person shooter, whether it be like a newer Call of Duty or a newer Battlefield, and try to clamber and over a wall, like a really high wall, and you're gonna be able to do that in more 75% of the cases. Like, there's very high walls that I'm sure you won't be able to get over, but other than that, for the most part, you should be able to get over these walls. Go back and play like even something as Battlefield 4. I'm not sure exactly when Battlefield 4 was released, but try to clamber over a wall, even a small one. If it's not hip level, good luck, buddy. You're getting shot in the back. So some things didn't age well, even though we look back on them with fondness. Childhood video games is always going to be something that is very special to me, though, because my love for gaming started instantly. Just even watching my dad play when I was younger, and then like to see my kid be so into video games, probably because of me. It's really awesome, and it's a cool thing to bond over. So let's get into this video by Degenerosity, Childhood Video Games. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description of his channel and the video, so make sure you guys go and subscribe. Let's go.
I love distractions. They help me forget the pain of reality. So video games to me is like a blessing from the heavens itself. They take us to a new world with new opportunities where you could be whoever, with some of them being where you can straight up do whatever you want. It's peak fantasy. It's also a cool pastime. And as a kid, I was a bona fide gamer. I say as a kid because nowadays, other than the usual squad games you play with the homies, I don't really be gaming too much. The only game I really be putting my hours in is Overwatch, and I'm not proud of that. I'm embarrassed. Anyways, that's why I wanted to talk about games that I actually like. Games from my childhood. I'ma just be talking about the games I used to love and play back then.
Randy Marsh doing the Guitar Hero thing is so classic.
And if I do mention one, we might be long lost twins. Because some of these games are my favorite of all time and have developed me into the man I am today. So take a seat as I discuss my childhood video games. Okay, you sat? Alright, you gotta stay seated because this video is sponsored.
We sitting.
This video is sponsored by
man.
OperaGX, the web browser for gamers. It's designed in a way to enhance your internet surfing and gaming experience, while also making everything about it easier for you. Browsers often use a lot of RAM, especially when having multiple tabs open. But with OperaGX, you can control the amount of RAM and CPU your browser can use. OperaGX also offers and recommends you free-to-play games. A lot of them I think are hidden gems. It can operate every Google Chrome extension, so you can still use all your favorite extensions from your last browser and do them over here.
Cena 5
you can also
for
have
Chrome.
quick access to ChatGPT on the sideboard, just in case if you need to cheat on a test real quick. Now, those are all neat and dandy, but my favorite thing about this browser are the mods. Here, you can mod your keyboard with any sound effect you want. There's tons of wallpaper themes that
I didn't like that.
anybody's niche. You like anime? They got those. You like memes? They got those too. You like video games? Of course they got video game ones. What do you think? There's a constantly growing library of over 8,000 different mods on here, all free. You can use my link, operagx.gg/degenerosity, to download Opera GX for free today. Links are in the description and pinned comment. Thank you, Opera GX, for sponsoring this video. I've been Team Xbox all my life.
That was a banger
Been
right
with them
there.
since they sold my mom a new Xbox that didn't even work. Back then, I would play most of my games offline because it took us a minute to even get Xbox Live. By the time we got it, the Xbox One was already coming out. Because of that, I ain't really played games like Halo or Call of Duty.
Yeah, bro. I didn't get to play. So, like, I bought Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2 when they were out. And I never, like, I played through the campaign because the campaigns were really good, but I didn't have internet. So, my friend who did have internet, he came over and he's like, oh, can I borrow Call of Duty? And I'm like, yeah, man, I beat the campaign. I ain't going to play it again. So he takes it, and then I go to his house, and we're all going over there to smoke weed and hang out, and all of a sudden, like, I walk in, and they're playing this game, getting all into it. They got, like, a whole group of people in there, and all of them are screaming and getting super into these kill streaks and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this game looks badass. What is this game? He's like, bro, it's the game that you let me borrow. For the longest time, I had no idea that there was like this big multiplayer aspect to Call of Duty. I did like LAN parties growing up. Like my mom's coworkers, they jokingly invited her to a LAN party thing, knowing she didn't play video games, and she always called them nerds for it. And she's like, my kid would love it though. And they said, well, shit, bring him. And so I got to go do a LAN party. We did Unreal Tournament, and yeah, that was awesome. Growing up, that was like my first taste of like multiplayer gaming, and I was hooked. And then Halo came out, and Halo was the first time when I was like, okay, like I'm really into this. And up until Black Ops 1, I was a Halo player, but I didn't have internet. And I didn't have my own Xbox Live. I'd always have to go play it at a friend's house up until we had a neighbor. He moved in next door, and they made those black Xboxes, the ones that had the Wi-Fi inside of the Xbox, so you didn't have to have a bunch of cords and stuff like that attached. I just asked my neighbor, I was like, hey, man, I know you have internet. Do you mind if I use your internet? Because it picked up on my Xbox. And he said, no, just don't tell my wife or whatever. And rest in peace to that guy, because he's a military guy, and bad things happen when you're dealing with things. So yeah, rest in peace to him, because he was always awesome to me. But yeah, that was my first experience of having Xbox Live and being able to sit in my own room and not at a friend's house or anything. And I lost my life, man. Me sitting in my room playing Black Ops 1, that was everything that I did. I didn't want to go hang out with anyone. I did play football growing up, but if I wasn't playing football, don't bother me. I'm at home playing Call of Duty.
I know they got story modes, but to me, those weren't the main selling points. I wanted to shoot people and talk shit on voice chat. So I played games where the fun wasn't in having a Wi-Fi connection, but connecting with the story and characters. And what better way to do that than with a property you already know front to back? That's why the Naruto games were my shit. I'm pretty sure I copped every single
Ultimate Ninja Storm, man.
Besides Storm 2. These games were so lit. I must have played the story mode of Rise of Ninja about 11 times by now. Mainly because it was so short. It only covered up...
So if I remember correctly, the Rise of Ninja games too, they were kind of interesting because the first Naruto games, they actually, when you do the jutsu, like anyone who's watched Naruto, they do the finger thing for the jutsus, pause, and you actually used the analog sticks and pointed them in directions to do jutsus. It was complicated as hell, and it was clunky because you just have two people in the middle of a fight just sitting there trying to figure out how to get their thumbs to work right. But it was an interesting idea. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't keep going with it.
To the Gaara attacking the village. And the game is only told in Naruto's perspective, so they skip a bunch of fights and storylines. Sasuke getting the curse mark skipped, Rock Lee versus Gaara glossed over, Ino versus Sakura, nobody give a fuck about that, but they...
Yo, that Rock Lee fight when he pulls that Goku shit and drops all that stuff against Gaara, that sold me on Naruto. I never even watched anime like that until my friend sat me down and he's like, yo, let's smoke and watch this fight. And my shit, as soon as he's just like, guy tells him, oh, it's okay, do it. And he's like, are you sure? And he drops it. And you see that, I'm like, oh my God, he's about to fuck him up. And even obviously, you know what happens at the end. But it was dope to see him go freaking all spaz mode like that.
Skip that too. Jutsus were also annoying AF to do.
Oh, yep.
Hold both
See?
triggers and do some quick gymnastics with the sticks, holding it down. Thing almost gave me carpal tunnel. Half the missions are following rings, delivering scrolls, and going against these bum filler bandits. But
yeah, you
then,
fight bandits like
like
every other freaking fight.
I love the kind of open
Nigga look like Booker T's freaking older brother.
Sites. The ults were cool and stylish, and the ramen delivery missions, now those would make me come back to the game for seconds. These parts of the game went hard, and it ain't that hard to impress Kid Me. All this game needed was the Nine Tails transformation and sexy jutsu for my attention.
Sexy jutsu is where it's at, baby.
In terms of nostalgia, the game went hard, but I definitely say the Storm series was a huge improvement, and I say that not as a diss. It's hard to beat Peak. The Ninja Storm series is literally the best thing anime games can offer. Although I've heard a lot of hype for the Dragon Ball ones, and Roblox got some cool games too. But I doubt any of them are better than Ultimate Ninja Generations or Storm 3. I doubt. I also used to play Xbox Connect games. Now, when I got the Connect,
classic.
I genuinely thought this was future
technology. LA Noir, baby.
Like you can control a game with no controller and just using your hands and feet at the camera? This some Back to the Future type. I thought we gonna have this technology by the Xbox 720, but here it was.
The
right
Xbox
here.
720.
So then we got a few games.
The logical,
Joyride
chronological order.
Joyride was so fun, connecting both my hands to the game steering. It felt like I was actually driving a real life car. Granted, I only had the demo, so I did one race and it kicked me out. But I played a race on repeat. Connect Adventures, now this was my favorite Connect game. It was a bunch of outdoor activities I think you see a boys.
I never had a Connect.
Like water rafting, wipeout, target practice, stuff you would expect. Play this all the time with my brothers. My favorite one of these.
You're just over there crumping, looking like it's fucking you got served.
So you don't drown. And me in real life controlling this game, you would think I'm a mime. Rafting was fun too, till I got to the parts where I have to jump because the Connect would never pick up on me jumping. Every time I
yeah, man, you gotta get your hops up. That's why.
Now I wasn't jumping too high because there's 5 other niggas that live with me, aka my family. And my room was upstairs. I couldn't be jumping around too much or too loud. My mom might have come in and beat my ass for it. So I was doing a bunch of little jumps, you know? But even when no one was home and I was jumping as high as little old me could, the Connect still wouldn't pick it up. This was a problem.
You probably had it up on the desk.
Games, which is why I fell off of it quickly. I had Sonic Free Riders Connect version, and I never finished a single race on that game because it straight up wouldn't connect my body to the Xbox. It wouldn't work.
Bruh.
I tried this multiple times.
Skill issue.
It never worked. And the game was Connect exclusive. You can't play this with a controller. You have to use the Connect, and since that ain't work, the game was useless. It was with
hence
this,
the reason they don't use
I
that shit
ain't
anymore.
Want any more Connect games. My mom would say no to me asking for games all the time. I'm not gonna waste a few times she say yes on getting Kung Fu Panda 2 on Connect. I needed a real game. Luckily, one day, the heavens blessed me with not one, but a 4-in-1 disc game. The Sega Dreamcast Collection. Crazy Taxi, Space Channel
Crazy
5 Part
Taxi
2,
is
Sonic Adventure,
legendary,
and
man.
Bass Pro Shop. Crazy Taxi was crazy. Picking up people that expect me to drive them across the entire city in 30 seconds. And if I'm 2 seconds late, they get out the car while I'm speeding doing 100 on the sidewalk.
Bro, this game just, you had to be there. I think they're remaking it. It's probably gonna suck ass. Remaking childhood games is never turns out the way you think, except for EA College Football, cause holy shit, not as good, but still dope.
This was essentially my GTA before I knew what it was. Great game. If you don't play
Persona
game, I don't
fucking
trust you.
4 Golden.
I ain't gonna lie.
Caught me by surprise for sure.
The game looked ugly. And I tried to
Persona 4, like, so the Persona games are really hard to get into if you've never played them before. You gotta really enjoy like the storytelling aspect, and the combat in there is very like reminiscent of like what a Pokemon game would be like, trying to find weaknesses and things like that. It can get really addicting, and also there's fusing of the personas and things. So it does have like this Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon-esque thing because you're using cards. Very dope. But I would say if you're going to play, definitely Persona 4 Golden is the best place to start for me. Because like I think the first time I picked up Persona was Persona 5. And because that was like the newer one, and everyone's like, oh, it doesn't matter. None of the stories are based off the same thing, so you can just pick up wherever. I was so confused at what was going on. And I didn't want to play it. Persona 4, the story hooks you like right away, and it just seems more catered towards new people to the series. So definitely, especially if you got a Switch, it's a perfect game for Switch. You'll end up putting more hours in than you expect. I promise you.
Get into it. I was a big fan of Sonic, which I'll get into later, but I couldn't gel with this game, bro. I hated the way the characters talk. The dialogue would sound so awkward. Their mouths were animated like
he did not say that.
And the music is great, but the music would be blasting over them talking, so you barely hear anything they're saying.
He straight did the Maya He thing.
I'm sorry to all my fellow Sonic.
I never played that game.
I'm probably speaking straight blasphemy right now. I'm just saying what I thought as a kid. I'ma definitely play this game again in the future. Hopefully the next time I play it, it'll knock some sense into me of how truly great this game probably might be. Space Channel 5 Part 2 might be the best dance game I've ever played. It's a rhythm game.
Bro, Dance Dance Revolution. I bought Dance Dance Revolution pads for me and my kid and a PS2. Shit's fire.
And this game is so fun. The game having fun, wild levels going against alien plant monsters, battle of the bands, and did I mention Space Michael Jackson is a supporting character, and there's a mission where you have to save him from Purge, and it's actually voiced by Michael Jackson himself? This might be the best game of all time.
I don't know, man. There's some impersonators out there that are pretty spot on. You ever hear R. Kelly's Same Girl remix?
This is a little bit of a spoiler, but the final battle of this game is probably the most fun I had with a final boss in a video game ever. You finally face Purge. He's freakier than ever.
Look at them hip thrusts. Get it.
Purge and the setting keep changing, becoming more challenging. Then the final transformation battle happens, and it's so fun, bro. Words can't describe how fun this ending is. This is so good, bro. Really, the only complaint I have is...
Yo, a game for me, Freedom Fighters. If you don't know what it is, look that shit up. You start off, I think it's a plumber, I think it's a plumber, some type of maintenance person, and your brother gets kidnapped. The Nazis invade New York. Shit's fucking wild. Shit is fucking wild. I think it's the Nazis. Might be Russians. I don't remember. But the game is fucking epic. Go download it on Steam. It's like $10. Well worth your time.
Is that I wish it was longer, because you can legit beat this game in under 2 hours. But during that time, this game will have you dancing more than Nickelodeon dance.
Is that Drewski?
Space Channel 5 Part 2. It's up there with my favorites. And the Bass Fishing Bass Pro Shop game?
Yeah.
This fishing.
GameCube.
Before my Xbox, before my Elite Pad, I've been with Nintendo. I had almost every one of their consoles since my birth. From the Game Boy Advance SP to the Switch. Man,
before the Game Boy Advance SP, we had to use those little ass worm lights, and shit did not light your screen up at all. You might as well just go fucking turn your TV on and sit underneath that bitch, because you were not going to be able to freaking see anything. It was ridiculous. The Game Boy Advance SP having that backlight on it, lifesaver, and being able to charge it, so lit.
Grown up privilege is awesome.
No pun intended.
I was drifting to first place, winning every Mario Kart DS Grand Prix. They used to call me Mustang. because of my skills and lack of deodorant. Bakugan Battle Brawlers, though, had me feeling the
Because of
opposite.
my
I would
skills.
lose almost every game on there. It got to a point where I was just going on to play just to change my character's avatar, because they had some really good fits in that game, not gonna lie. New Super Mario Bros., one of my favorite DS games. The story and format is a lot like most mainline Mario games. Bowser's in the drought and Peach is the rainforest. So he kidnapped her and Mario gotta save her ass free of charge for like the 12th time. Levels were super
Yeah, why
fun.
she always getting
Boss fights
kidnapped?
were
I think she
crazy.
liked that.
Petey always had me tweaking with every replay. It's a really good play. But I'ma be real, my memories aren't with the story mode too much. The real fun was playing the mini games and multiplayer. The mini games had me on a chokehold, bro. And when playing a multiplayer against my bros, I'd play harder than Prime Tyson. Danger Bob Danger, where I was avoiding a billion fast fireballs so I wouldn't blow, had me scratching my screen with my fingernails, making my bottom screen look like a cat fight happening on top
Those
of it.
cats are
Puzzle
fucking
Panel
each
had me
other up.
sweating 'cause I had no idea how to play this back then. I didn't get what panel I was gonna press. Like, how was I supposed to know which one to press?
Hey, man,
This is
it went
too
through.
much thinking for a 5
That's all that matters.
Wanted, my favorite mini game. This shit would.
You see the video of the person who's watching them put this shape goes in, and they're like, this one, and they shove it in the wrong hole, and the lady loses her mind because she's her OCD. So funny.
In looking for Wario,
Call me sick in the head, but
whoever
that
big
shit's
nose
great.
ass I was supposed to be looking for. I do my absolute best to find them as quickly as I can. Trying to get that time turned into nanoseconds. I ain't recorded then, but I bet on your grandma's soul I got the world record on this. Soon as I took a glance at who's wanted and I find them, I would beat my stylist on that bottom screen harder than I am. I did not treat my DS with care. And I can't not bring up Luigi's Casino games. This game put me on some of my favorite hobbies. Investing. But when I played his games, I was so bad at them. I didn't know how to play poker. I was 5. Luigi didn't care though. He ain't mind hustling the kid. Only game I was good at was matching cards. And ever since my losing streak against Luigi, I vowed to never lose in the casino ever again, no matter the game. I do not think my promise is going well. The 1v1 multiplayer was the best thing about the game. The first person to get all 5 stars or takes the other person's lives wins. This is the game where bonds would be broken, cause we would absolutely abuse each other in this, jumping on our heads above pits, using the giant mushroom to stomp them out and destroy the stages. And when I'd get the blue shell,
That kind of
wrap
looks
it up,
weird. I
'cause
never
whoever
played
got
that.
won the game. I'd just be cruising in that shell back and forth, killing my bro constantly, till he lost everything and I won. It ain't fun at all being on the other side of
Baby
that, but
Bowser's
being
my
that
shit.
felt exquisite. This game was so fire, bro. New Super Mario Bros. Is super replayable.
I never really got
fun,
into the
and
Mario
it's one of the
games.
best multiplayer modes for the DS. Top tier childhood game.
One of the like wildest things to me was like when my grandpa seen that I had Mario, and I gave him the controller because he said he played it all the time growing up, and then watched him do some crazy ass shit that I had never seen before, and go to like crazy spots, hidden spots to get you to the next world. So nuts.
Games right here. Moving on from that, imagine something that
This is
had
before
all your
like
favorite
internet and
characters
shit's
put
super
together
popular,
in
so it's
one
not like he
room
looked it
for
up.
your entertainment. No, I'm not talking about That So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. I mean Smash Bros. Smashing wasn't just a game, it was a lifestyle. I used to grind this game, trying to be the best out of everyone around me. Even rock the Smash Bros cut at one point. My mains are Lucas, Palutena, and Isabella. And I'd spam the out of their moves. Freezing MFs, exploding MFs, and catching them like a fish. I was not a fun person to play with. Was I good? Let's not go too deep into that. We're talking about the good times here. I've been a part of this franchise since Brawl. Well, actually, I was playing Super Smash Bros.
That's like when I tell people about my Black Ops 1 days, they're like, oh yeah, sounds like you were really good. Yeah, man, I'd set a radar up, a portable radar. I'll get my M16 with the ACOG scope and a silencer. And I would just sit back and snipe people. And I'd set the motion sensor up on, like, to my back. So where if they started flanking, I would know I need to turn around. And then once I knew it was clear, I'd go pick up my motion sensor, go move it to the other side, and start all over. It was pretty messed up, man. And then I would just farm, kill streaks, chopper gunner, and dogs. So you do Blackbird, chopper gunner, dogs, and literally while your dogs are getting everybody out of the houses and stuff like that, your chopper's tearing people up, and it's not a fun experience for people. I think I went like 68-0 on one of them. Kind of ridiculous.
Flash before that, maining Naruto and Blade, cause I never owned a Wii. I waited for the Wii U to come out for me to actually play Brawl. And if Smash Flash was the game to pique my interest,
that looks like
then Brawl
shit.
made me a lifetime fan of this franchise, cause the story mode is a masterpiece. Everyone teaming up against Nintendo's most evil villains, Ganondorf, Bowser, Wario, Rob, to stop them from blowing niggas up to smithereens. Like, the intro scene is the ancient minister blowing up a whole stadium full of people. The villains had no chill. They did not hold back. This is the scariest Wario had ever been. For the first time ever, he seemed like a real threat. When he's not in his pants, he knows how to put the fear in people, which made the mode even more
Hey,
exciting.
yo, why did he have
The
shit coming out of
story
his
had
butt?
me on an emotional roller coaster.
Literally, that's
Crying on
weird.
my hands and knees when Ness sacrificed himself to save Lucas, then going absolutely nuts when Rayquaza showed up. Cause for a sec, I thought he was gonna be a playable character. But nah, they strip-teased me. Its stacked storytelling would completely distract me from the fact that it was pretty easy to beat. It takes about 2.5 SpongeBob movies to complete. But the world for me is in a standstill when playing this. I wish every Smash game had a story as good as this one, or even had a story in general. World of Light was not it for me.
Was that
because
Home
it ain't
Depot?
about outside the boss fights and a few cutscenes, you mostly just fighting NPC spirits collecting trophies for so long. It's boring, bro. And the Wii U version didn't have a story either. Nintendo really only balled out for Brawl for story mode. The series is like the RoboCop franchise. Only one of them has a good story and the rest are... Brawl is the most nostalgic Smash game for me. It's not the best one, but it definitely has the best story. And also, I can't help but feel nostalgic for the announcement trailers for Ultimate. When Nintendo were dropping teasers for who and what will be added to the game back then would be the most hype I've ever been for any video game. Those were
Yeah,
not
look at him break
trailers,
it down.
those were events. I wouldn't even know or play the games half the characters that were announced were in. Like, the hell is a Min Min? And damn, she got bitches. But seeing
And
everyone
damn,
online
for
go
real.
crazy would
That's
be
what
enough
gets
for
the
me.
guys, man.
Binging reaction videos of people going nuts to their favorite characters from titles they love. And Fire Emblem. Their reactions to these reviews would be so infectious that I can't help but...
Bro, Maximilian, dude, when watching that video when they revealed Eddie on Tekken, bro, I spazzed. That was my shit growing up. I love that shit. Like, such a freaking... Tekken 8 was fire. If you haven't played Tekken 8, you can get that on sale. Definitely worth it, man. I even went and bought me a little fight stick. Freaking gotta when Heihachi freaking drops, I'm definitely gonna get back in that.
But go crazy watching it with them. What a beautiful time that was. When the next Smash comes out, hopefully we can be as enthusiastic. I trust that we will. Once Nintendo announces Goku will be in Smash, that shit would break the internet. Smash Bros for me is not only
How
a
would you
great
put Goku
free-for-all
in there?
fighter, but a way of bonding. I ain't got the best social skills, but soon as you pull out the Switch, that is not a strap, and you trying to smash, you'll have me wagging my tail like a labradoodle. We smashing, bro, and I ain't gonna hold back on you. What are we talking about? Smash Bros is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. But
Hey,
one talk
yo.
nostalgia, nothing comes close in this race other than a spiky, blue-haired alien creature, and I'm talking about no other than Rick from Rick and Morty. Sonic is my favorite childhood video game franchise of all time.
Knuckles
I know
was
that
where
might
it's at for
sound
me.
weird to some
The
of
little
y'all 'cause
expansion
Sonic
pack.
fans don't have the best rep going for us. In fact, the franchise itself don't got a good rep, with games being a Russian roulette to being great or garbage. I know there's a lot to be turned off by, but if you ignore the bad things, there's only good things. Plus, the first Sonic game I
If you
remember
ignore the
liking
bad
and
things, there's
playing
only
was
good
Sonic
things.
the
That's
Hedgehog.
true.
Nah, not that one, the good one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This was one of the first 360 games I've ever played. Most of us know how infamous this game is. It's known as one of the worst Sonic games. The controls were bad, the camera was all over the place, long ass loading screens that pop up all the time, glitches everywhere, and just a terrible gaming experience. A terrible gaming experience if you're above the age of 7. And since I wasn't, when I played it, I loved it. I would play this all the time. I thought everything about this was so cool. The story being Dr. Eggman kidnaps Princess Elise to get her Chaos Emerald and to find out the secrets of the Flames of Disaster, also known as Iblis, so he could do his plan of world domination. And Sonic gotta stop him. But also, Silver comes from 200 years in the future, where the world is over. It looked like hell, and is completely taken over by Iblis. And Silver is told by a guy named Mephiles that the only way to stop this from happening is to kill Sonic. But that isn't true, because Mephiles is actually the other half of Iblis, and he's the bad guy. You can also play Shadow too. Mephiles, I thought, was such a cool villain. His character design went hard. His voice was deep and menacing. In my eyes, then, that's
that
all you needed to
DDG
be.
voice.
I thought the story and characters were engaging and interesting. Though, even as a kid, seeing Elise kissing Sonic was a little weird. Especially when seeing Amy. Like, his girls are right there, bro. Some of the levels were fun
Was
too.
it a kiss
City
or was
Escape,
it
my
mouth to
favorite.
mouth?
You sometimes get to ride an eagle and drive a car. Are y'all sold on this game yet? But I can't talk about this game without mentioning the glitches, cause they're legit everywhere. Walking upside down on loops, getting sent to space, whatever this is. These glitches would happen so frequently that I could get how people would hate this game and find it unplayable, cause it was. However, maybe it was all the red 40 and pencils I ate then, but I didn't
Those gotta be
mind them.
donuts. That's
In fact,
trippy.
I'd have fun with the glitches on some of my replays. Look,
Eating
I know
chalk
for a
would be
fact
the
I'm
most
looking at
terrible
this
thing
game
ever.
through rose-tinted glasses. I know if I were to play this today with the patience I have, if one glitch killed me, I'ma rage quit and switch to a game that I actually enjoy. However, kid me loved it. I would replay it, and it's not like I ain't have other games. I played this cause it was fun. I played this during a time of my life that only that version of me would enjoy this game. But I can still see myself playing it in the near future. Project 06 version though, I'm not dealing with those loading screens. I loved Sonic 06. It turned me into a fan. So imagine how I felt when I played my first
Chubby
good
Sonic was my
game.
favorite
Sonic
version.
Unleashed is my
It's like
favorite
baby Jesus.
Sonic game. Sonic turns into a werewolf. That's the story. Take my money. The game also starts off with the best looking Sonic cutscene
Sonic
I've
turns
ever
into a
seen.
werewolf.
This
That's
shit
pretty
rivals
badass.
Pixar. The levels were so zesty. In the daytime, you play as regular
Zesty.
Sonic, blasting through stages almost
Looks like a Call of Duty
effortlessly,
map.
in a way I hadn't seen Sonic do. The nighttime, you'd switch to Werewolf Sonic. Although you were a lot slower, swinging and doing combos on those robots and dog things always felt satisfying. The boss fights are...
How can a hedgehog be a
They were a
werewolf?
good mix of challenging while also being exciting.
He's a hedge wolf.
Besides this one, I hated it. When playing this,
He's a
it
wolf
was
hog.
the best Sonic gaming experience
Wolf
I've
hog
had
sounds
at
better.
that point. The cutscenes were great. The controls actually worked, and there are quick time events. Sensational. But easily my favorite part of Sonic
Sensational.
Unleashed is this little nigga right here, Chip. Chip is a fairy bat hybrid, I think, who, when losing his memories after Sonic fell on top of him from falling from outer space, becomes his quirky comedic sidekick. For a lot of the game, he don't do much other than cracking jokes, handing out chocolate to people, and just being a vibe.
He's like
That's all I
Tails,
needed
but
out
a
of it.
fairy.
We weren't just on a mission to get his memories back and defeat an Eggman. On this adventure, we have become friends, companions.
Dude, that ice cream
and
looks
I never wanted
delicious.
it
I'm gonna
to
have
end.
some ice cream here in a little bit.
Spoilers for Sonic Unleashed in 3, 2, 1. It ends, bro! After going to the temple to regain the Chaos Emerald's powers, Chip gets his memories back. And apparently, this dude is God. His real name is Light Gaia. His job is to protect the world from Dark Gaia. And for millions of years, Dark Gaia would get stronger to destroy the Earth, and Chip would rebuild it back over again. And since Eggman awakened Dark Gaia, he's gotta stop it from destroying the planet. So yeah, he's God. And when we're at
Wait,
the
so
end
the
game
little
boss
guy's
fight,
God,
they are
and then
facing Dark
the big
Gaia in
guy's
an epic battle.
Satan.
Them winning at the end, because obviously God and Super Sonic on the same team is like Shaq and Kobe.
And
Might as
Super
well
Sonic
venture
is
yourself
supposed to
when
be
seeing
like
them coming. But what
Super
I didn't
Saiyan
see
Goku.
coming is Chip saving Sonic's life and staying behind at the Earth's core. And we watch him sink into the lava, seeing him for the last time. My nigga Chin dead.
I mean, if he's God.
This game had me feeling emotions I thought I would never feel for a video game. That by the end of the game, after crying my heart out, it made me want to go on this adventure again so it would never end. Sonic Unleashed is my favorite Sonic game, making me a lifetime fan of the franchise. Not only of the games, but of Sonic itself. I used to be watching those Sonic bloopers and creepypasta videos from back then. Sonic for Hire went 2 times platinum on my iPad. I'd often play fan-made Sonic games on the computer. Final Fantasy Sonic, that's just a work of art, bro. If I had a time machine, I'd show this to Leonardo da Vinci, cause I know he'd quit. I know he knows he can't make something half as good as this. And every Saturday morning, you know I had Sonic X playing on my TV. That Amy Ghost episode had me.
Bro, that show was low-key fire.
I'm kinda yapping at this point. Sonic is the best. Sonic for president. Let's wrap it up. And those were my childhood video games. Of course, they weren't all of them. I didn't bring up no Flash or mobile games, and I didn't even bring up Pokemon. Jeez. But
oh my god, yeah, you gotta, like I said, Pokemon is where it's at.
I'm basically editing on a Chromebook. Bear with me here. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I send you my massage through the screen. Then in the comments, tell me about your favorite childhood video game. So what you liked about it. Thank you, Opera GX, for sponsoring this video and giving me money. And that's all I really wanted to say. So in conclusion, Varidi still for Smash. I ain't forget.
All right, so that was Childhood Video Games by Degenerosity. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go subscribe to not only my channel, his channel. The link will be down below in the description. Yeah, man. I agree with a lot of those video games. Not so much the Sonic ones. Today's challenge, tell your mom you're pregnant. What a weird ass video thing to pop up. Anyway, yeah. Pokemon, I think Tekken, the NBA Live games, Madden, even like the QB Club games from like GameCube era. Those are things that pop up in my head. Let me know down in the comment what were some of the games that you guys played growing up. If you enjoyed Nintendo more than you enjoyed PlayStation, etc. Because I know me personally, I traded back and forth my 64 and my PlayStation forever. And I had a GameCube up until I got the PS2. And I had a PS2 up until I got the Xbox. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video the way I did. Awesome video, Degenerosity. Thank you. Peace.